This presentation is about the of industrial engineering. The subjects are in green and the subtopics are in blue. So the purpose of this presentation is to make known the principles and objectives of the career within this chapter of the book. In the introduction, we are told that facts and principles led to creation of industrial engineering in the 20th century and from the second half. This remains the basis of engineering today. This chapter we also discuss its evolution very briefly. Early origins. The Great Wall, pyramids, and other structures of engineering are examples of achievements and practices of engineering, but it was not until the 18th century that the first schools in France appeared. Due to the constant need for buildings, roads, and bridges that began to give the principles of engineering given more commonly in the military academies. The Industrial Revolution. What, with its innovative machine, the steam engine, put an end to hydraulic dependence as source of energy, and this provoked a freedom for the industrial organization. Also, the concept of the production system had its origin in the factories where the innovation had arrived. Specialization in work. A right to regulate the production of factory workers believed the management control systems. In turn, Watt and Matthew Boulton planned and created the first machine manufacturing plant. Within this breakthrough also include cost control to improve the productivity of artisans. Interchangeability of parts. Henry Whitney and Simon North, working on the manufacture of muskets and pistols, discovered this concept, without which they would continue to make the entire construction of a product by the same craftsman. Pioneers of industrial engineering, Taylor and scientific management. Their experiments in coal excavation, in addition to standards and methods to accomplish these tasks, also create the creation of departments to instruct employees in standard process. The objective of these departments to organize and plan production was to reward workers who would exceed standard products. Frank and Lillian Gilbert, the First Lady of Engineering named who, being the first woman elected to the National Academy of Engineering, it's also recognized for bringing concern from human relations with engineering. Frank had a passion for efficiency, which led him to expand the concept of scientific management, analysis and measurements in the vital movements of work, and both cataloged 18 basic movements, giving a large advantage in the scientific community. Other pioneers. Taylor Gilbert developed concepts that early pioneers, educators, and consultants used. At the ASME annual meeting, a report titled "The Current State of the Art of Industrial Management" was given on Friday 6, providing different points of view on the origin and contributions of the pioneers. The era of the First World War. Organizations that produce on a large scale ruled the use of these principles, creating crises in production. However, as these increases were achieved easily and quickly, they were left to pay attention and good methods were ignored. Employee reactions and other concerns, such as tariff reductions, led to the use of standard legislation in government operations. Methods of engineering and simplification of work. The concept of taking motion study training directly to workers through work simplification programs was an advantage for production during World War II. Mogensen also published the Common Sense Applied to the Study of Time and Motion, in which he emphasized this concept of movement study through an approach he chose to call the simplification of work. The Hawthorne Experiment. How does workplace lighting affect worker productivity? Under the sponsorship of the National Academy of Science, a team of researchers from MIT observed workers at different levels of light, realizing that as light also increased productivity. This was called the Hawthorne effect. Status at the end of this era. Some main activities were closely related to development and analysis of methods. The development of time standards also talk about the design of plants and the handling of materials, mainly methodologies and techniques that were of great help to the educational issue. The era after the Second World War. In 1948, the American Institute of Industrial Engineering was founded, and to obtain a membership they had to finance a program derived from the engineering experience, along with the emergence of the American society, provide the impetus for the transition of the discipline. The emergence of operational research. In 1940, developments of vital importance for the field, statistical analysis, management techniques, and various graphical resources were found to be very useful for military operation. With Warner Army, highly trained scientists innovating the creation of techniques and devices. By 1960, methodologies and other techniques of analysis had become commonplace in industrial engineering. The book tells us that it is the occupation of the design, improvement, and installation of integrated systems of men, materials, equipment, and energy, which are based on specialized knowledge in mathematical, physical, and social science, as well as methods of analysis which evaluate the results of such systems. Status State at the end of this era. The approach at the end of this era, the acquisition of concrete facts, premise measurement, as well as human systems and analysis. These systems were used for the design and improvement of work systems. Industrial engineers focused on the development of quantitative and computational tools. Evolution of the industrial engineering work function. Industrial engineering promises to be great impact in the process of decision and planning. By 1970, more than 70% of these functions were in the systematic engineering analysis and scientific inventory. The era from 1980 to 2000. The design and integration of information systems became a vital part of industrial engineers. In addition to growth of the controlled machinery, the use of robots are examples of the application of industrial engineering, where programs like CAD, SIM were very vital for the construction of machines. The new challenge of this era. During the course of this decade, a field had been created that put more emphasis on tools and techniques that could not be solved in certain sectors, such as the car industry, especially machines, tools of the electronic industry sector. The engineers began to stop question the organization of work and management and began to look for more places where their knowledge could be applied along with new techniques and tools. Evolution of the role of industrial engineering during this era. As we can see in the image, as the years advance, the industrial engineering is more committed to management control, due to the impact of this on new technologies. We boost performance in the field of development and application concept, manufacturing process, design techniques, assembly and concurrent engineering, operational modeling, among many others. Future challenge. Here we talk about simultaneous manufacturing, integration of resources, environmental compatibility. Processes that are already familiar to industrial engineering had to develop a level of capacity to achieve those projects that had improvements or innovation as the magic marks. This only tells us that the constant struggle to have the best process led a competition to give a will lead to new products and processes. Finally, the summary and conclusions. The development of the field and the work was driven by the first pioneers has the desire to increase productivity through analysis, systems, and more to lay the foundation of what is industrial engineering. This basis in turn gave rise to the areas of analysis and the sync of work, measurement of standards, and many others, which were established as fundamentals of the field. We also saw that the need to re-examine the impacts of productivity served as catalysts to create areas such as product design, quality management, which are now part of the information of an industrial engineering. The arrival of operational research and the evolution of computing provide a wide range of tools and technologies that further extended certain areas. Much of the growth of the career is due to the fact that those who exercise the profession did not accept the barriers or limits in the potential of their process to which they look for an area or application. And so, with little more than 100 years, this field has proven to continue to evolve as well as its professionals who will offer new opportunities and face new challenges. This is all. There are references. Thanks for your attention and see you later.